Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and today we once again welcome Dave Garofalo of the Cigar Authority.
Hey, good to have you back. Almost a regular here.
I know. Well, you know, it's one of those things. I know we just had you not too terribly long ago, but this past weekend, tickets went on sale for the second annual. Although technically it's the second. We'll get, third annual is when you can start using annual.
But there's a rule to that.
Just as long as you never use first annual, there's no such thing as a first annual, because until it happens, it's the inaugural.
No, we probably did that wrong, but okay,
whatever. And then technically, second annual, it's not an annual event until it happens at least twice. So second annual isn't right either, because it hasn't happened yet. Now, after the second one happens, so after what, September 27th, 28th?
Yep, I think so.
All right. After that, then you can do third annual. But that's just me being a nitpick,
That's good. That's good information. You learned something here.
There you go.
Of the right thing to do. If it can only stick, we'll see if that ends up happening. If I can make
I see it all the time. Anyway, the New England Cigar Festival, or Expo, I keep saying festival. The New England Cigar Expo tickets went on sale this past weekend. And so I want to talk about that and, let my listeners have a chance to get in on the fun.
Well, hurry up.
There you
if
go.
You're going to do it. So last year was the first time we did it, taking an existing product, which is Two Guys Smoke Shop's anniversary party that I ran for 25 years, probably, since the 8th anniversary, and this is number 39. And the reason was that nobody will have us back. We usually did these anniversary parties in function facilities, wedding facilities, and we'd smoke them out, and they would throw us out and say, don't come back again. And that went on for a lot of years till I got very lucky, and I found this place in Haverhill, Massachusetts called the Burroughs, and we did 20 years at the same place. They were so happy to have us, and they had some sort of magic cross ventilation thing going on in there, and they planned on when their big clean was going to happen, which was the next day, and they had it down to a science. And they would get 500 people, which would be their biggest event they would do, because we don't need a dance floor, a whole bunch of guys smoking cigars. Nobody was allowed to dance. No dancing allowed, which drove Mr. Jonathan crazy, by the way. But there was no dancing allowed. We'd fill that with tables and chairs too, and would get the biggest amount of people that they would ever have. Plus, there was no children. So the bar tended to do the best it ever did, and we break records year after year. And they would say that we're going to break, and honestly, the bartenders would fight to work. And I tipped before the show even started, all the waitresses, and got them on our side also. So it was a beautiful marriage. The problem was, after COVID, they decided to sell the property, and it turned into apartment buildings, tear it down, build these giant apartment buildings. And so we were done. And then we found the next place and said, okay, I remember this 20 years ago. These are, again, one and dones. And we did that one and done. And they said, yeah, that was great. You can never come back. I said, okay.
I think that was the one I was at.
Yeah.
And
you could see why.
I can see why. I mean, that's the thing. At one point, I went to the bathroom and I came back, and there was the haze in the room. It's like a cloud that had settled. And, they didn't properly. I guess it's one of those things, until it happens, you can't expect, how it's going to go down. Whereas the Burroughs, they had 20 years of experience with it. They knew what to expect. But yeah, it feels like they got in over their head the one I went to.
I remember over 25 years ago, it was our 10-year anniversary. It was called Hilltop Steakhouse, which used to be a landmark in Massachusetts, the largest steakhouse in the world, I think. Mm-hmm. And they had us there for when they opened their function hall on the second floor. and I met with the HVAC guys and the air ventilation guys, and they told me how we got this down. It's going to be unbelievable. We're looking forward to you guys coming because it's going to be a great test for us. I'll tell you, you couldn't find them after the event was over. Those guys hid under a rock.
They failed the test.
Total failure. And they said,
no.
"Oh my God, you're never welcome back."
Oh,
So
no.
that's where we were at when I finally found a church that said we have this big giant tent. It's the largest tent in New Hampshire. It holds 1,000 people, no problem. And you can have it here. But you must have it for 2 days for the weekend. And here's the price of rental. And when you take, by the way, when you do a function hall, they make their money off booze and food. You're not actually paying rental. Well, in this case, they don't make money off booze and food. They make money off renting it. So it's a lot of money to rent the facility. And where I have it for 2 days, I said I can divide that cost into 2 days and turn this into more than just the two guys' dinner. It'll turn into an expo. So, and in order to have that many people show up, I would have to ask for more than our local patrons, maybe. Let's go all of New England Cigar Expo. And there it was. That was the idea of it. Our regular customers only wanted the 1-day event, which would normally sell out in hours, not days, the whole event. They were mad at that. I don't want to commit myself to 2 days. And I'm not doing it. And we had a lot of our regular scheduled customers that would be buying tables of 10, buying 0 tickets. They actually said, "No, I'm not going to do it." And thanks to the Cigar Authority, really, patrons from around the nation, around the world, actually came up. We had, so many people, Cigar Authority listeners, I would say better than 50%. Not our local crowd, but the people from elsewhere coming up. So this year, knowing that, the pushback that we had, we said, okay, let's offer 2-day tickets like we did last year, which was only what was allowed, but we'll also offer tickets for day 1 or day 2 if they'd rather. But just for this weekend, it was going to be 2-day tickets only, because once we sell all the tickets for day 1, we can't sell 2-day tickets anymore.
No, you can't.
Right? That's the end of it. So we'll give it at least a couple of days. So that takes us to today, Monday. Am I spilling the beans here? We're recording.
No.
Okay.
People know that I record in advance. Yeah. So this is Monday. So, but it's coming out tomorrow. So hopefully, there should hopefully still be some available for everybody.
Hopefully not, but
well, I would say for your case, hopefully not. But
and you know what? It's not until September, but I like it to be sold out and move on to the next step, and say, okay, never mind tickets anymore. That's the attention right now.
I totally agree with that.
Almost all the tickets are gone to sell for 2-day tickets. And I say almost, there's certainly, maybe there's 40 or 50 2-day tickets left between VIPs and regular tickets. And hopefully that wraps up today. It could wrap up 2 different ways. My customers want night 1. Those are the one that is the two guys' anniversary party that they know and love. That's what they want. And that ticket is available to them all by themselves starting right now. If they end up buying all those tickets of night 1, again, day 2 ticket, 2-day tickets are gone.
Yeah.
And, I tried to get the best update I could. Let me see if anything came in while I was literally zooming in. Okay, 61 tickets remain. If there's 61 tickets sold either way, 2-day tickets or night only
individual,
between those two, then 2-day tickets are gone, and night 1 is gone also. So 61 tickets. I maybe tomorrow at this time that there's some left. The only way to know is to go to twoguyscigars.com, because we're moving all our tickets today to .com only. The people that wanted to come by today are going to buy. So it'll all go to .com. So whatever's left there is going to be what's left. So just go to twoguyscigars.com the number 2 guyscigars.com, and you'll see right on the rotator, New England Cigar Expo, and your choices at this moment are: do you want the 2-day ticket, the VIP ticket, night 1, or day 2? Those are
Okay.
your options. It's going to be very different tomorrow. Hopefully, not hopefully, I guess hopefully, we'll probably be down to day 2 only. And that's what I'm banking on that's going to happen. Tomorrow, we will have day 2 only to sell. That's what I want to talk about today, because that's probably what's going to be left. And the way I priced it was so that it is an incredible offer, because we have VIPs at $5.95. That's the 2-day ticket as a VIP. For the fancy pants, for the fancy people, and that includes you. You get it
Well,
in an hour early on both days. You also get the bag of extra goodies. Nothing wrong with a 2-day ticket. It's $395.
for
And you're
sure.
going to get 39 cigars along with all the festivities that happen.
Which, I mean, just the price of the cigars alone. I mean, the value of the cigars. I mean, there's your 2-day
There's
ticket.
all your money. That's your VIP money too. It's all of it. And that's obviously the manufacturer saying, okay, we'll have this cigar, we'll have that cigar. And I've heard from them that Steve Saka, for instance, yes, the cigar I gave you is that $25 cigar. And Nelson Alfonso said, yes, it is an Alfonso that I'm giving out. And Davidoff said, yes, it is a Davidoff. And Diamond Crown, and all the people that, yes, that's the cigar we're going to give out is their best. And
Yeah.
over the years, that's how it turned out. I remember early on a manufacturer looking and saying, well, these aren't moving so well. Let me give the cheap cigar. And then they get there, and all their comrades are there, and all the people are there. And here they are giving this cheaper cigar, and the guy next to him is giving the most cigar, and it was embarrassment. And
Yeah.
then that happened one year, many, many years ago. And after that is, oh no, I better bring my A game. So they're going there to impress, and that's what they
Okay.
do. So on day 2, which is the one that I think is going to be left over that you're going to be able to buy today, Tuesday, is $195. It's the Saturday only, and the doors will open at 11 o'clock for fancy people, 12 noon for the regular crowd, and there will be 21 cigars giving out to you.
Which is
Again,
still,
$195, 21 cigars.
yeah.
That just starts it off. You walk in, here's more than your money's worth. Shut up, right? That's it. Drop the
Exactly.
mic. It's done.
Yeah.
So then everything over and above that becomes gravy. All the cigar manufacturers will be there. If I would, I'd like to just say the who's who that's
Feel
here.
free. Well, here, before we do that, let's get a cigar going.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So I'm actually smoking the New England Cigar Expo cigar from last
year.
year's Expo. That I have it because it was in a show pack from you guys, and I never got around. I've been sitting on it for a long time.
Well, you saved it for the right time.
I did. So give this a smoke. Now, Dave, did you reveal the makeup of the cigar? I don't know anything about the cigar.
I don't think we did. I know it's a Dominican cigar, but
Okay.
I don't think we ended up saying what it is.
Okay.
And it was a test to see how people would take to a event only cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it was available. It was for the event. I like doing it. I like special projects. I was afraid that was going to happen. I am on in a meeting.
Oh.
I was afraid that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
This is what happens on a Monday afternoon.
You're
showtime.
busy.
Things are happening around us.
I appreciate you squeezing me into the schedule here. So anyway, so you like event only special cigars?
I like doing them. And
yeah,
that set me up for doing one for this year coming up. So there will be a special event cigar that will rock the cigar world. The idea of that cigar was it was made in a small box that looked like a wrestling ring because we had midget wrestlers.
Okay.
So that's why we did that. That was the thing of it. This year, believe me, people are going to be talking about the cigar we're going to put out for the expo. It will be available at the expo for the people at the expo. If there are cigars left over, we did order a lot. If there are cigars left over, it will be available come Monday after the expo, which is late October, I believe Halloween maybe,
Okay. Okay.
and put it out there. So that is going to be an interesting one. We'll probably smoke it on that Saturday on the Cigar Authority because we go live on the Cigar Authority, and we'll probably smoke it there. So that'll be interesting.
I look forward to that one. But first, I'm going to smoke this one. And it's time to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company. And guys, he's been getting in all kinds of great cigars. Check out his social media to see all the pictures of what's coming in. There's been all kinds of new product coming in. And he's got the lounge open, the patio's open. Weather in St. Louis has been wonderful lately. When you're not dodging storms, but it's covered patio, so you can still sit out in the rain and enjoy the cigar. So make sure you head on over to Riverman Cigar Company if you're in the area, and if you're not, check him out by giving him a call because he does do mail order. That's Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. I'm anxious. I'm excited to get the cigar going here. It's my first one of the day, actually. So, yes. So let's talk a little bit about day 2 of this year, because you just talked about the strongman competition and all that, and you have Mark Henry coming to do the announcement.
Yes. So when you walk in that day, there will be food trucks that are going to be set up. We have 3 different food trucks this year. I will not let you down when it comes to the food options for sure.
If there's one thing I know you've got covered, it's the food. Now, actually, there's something I wanted to mention to you. The other day, I went through the drive-through at Dunkin' to get myself a coffee and I wasn't intending to get a donut, but right there on the board, they had a new donut flavor. One I'd never seen before, one that was new to me. And I'm a sucker for something that's new. I have to try it because it could be my new favorite snack, that kind of thing. Have you ever had the watermelon donut?
No.
It's a jelly donut, and inside they have like a watermelon jelly, and it tasted like a watermelon Jolly Rancher candy.
No kidding.
But
All
it's
right, that's something to look forward to tomorrow morning.
There you go. It's a watermelon jelly donut. So
wow.
It wasn't bad. If you like the watermelon Jolly Rancher candies,
I do,
then you'd like this.
All right.
So there you go.
I will try it. I am,
and I know you like donuts.
I'm big into donuts, and I'll tell you, Dunkin' Donuts make some of the worst. That's what I'll say.
Here in St. Louis, we don't have a lot of elite donut options here in my area.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
All right. So the day 2, you're going to walk in. It's going to be 11 o'clock for you, 12 noon for others. You'll see the food trucks that are set up. We're bringing one back from last year. So last year we had 3 of them. We're bringing the one I feel that got the most play back.
Okay.
They don't know it. They don't know the games I play. Everything's a game. Everything's a competition. They don't even know they're in a competition. But there was one called One Happy Clam. They did fried clams, lobster rolls, fish and chip, fried pickles. They are, that's New England anyway. So I think the people that came from other places needed to try those things. So they certainly did, and they were happy. And I talked to all of them after. They all did well. We cigar smokers tend to eat well. So
we like to eat.
They all did good. So we're bringing in for the first time another New England tradition. I hear it's not everywhere in the United States. It's a New England thing. I never knew this. It's roast beef sandwiches. And that is a hot roast beef sandwiches is a regular thing that's everywhere around here. And it's the roast beef sandwich 3-way, which is sauce, cheese, and mayo. And they toast the rolls. They put the roast beef hot on a slicer and put it on there and make roast beef sandwiches. I worked at one for 5 years when I was a kid, Riley's Roast Beef. We have Kelly's Roast Beef, which is now turning into a chain, starting to work its way down Florida. But most people don't know it's a thing. Even as close as Rhode Island, there's no roast beef sandwiches. And Dan that works for me lives in Rhode Island. He comes up and he goes, "What's with this roast beef sandwich thing?" And I go, "Really? not even in Rhode Island, huh? But it's a thing, and these guys are called Beefy Boys. And they
Okay.
got a big truck, and that's what they do. So we're bringing the Beefy Boys in. I don't know if they do rap music or whatever they do, but they're the Beefy Boys.
Well, at least we know where we'll find Mr. Jonathan at all
There,
times
there
during
we
day
go.
two. He'll be hanging out with the Beefy Boys.
And then this year we're going Italian. We have Tola, and Tola is Italian subs. Do you call the submarine sandwiches? Is that what you call them there?
Subs, yeah.
Subs, yeah, because
Yeah.
people call them different things, but they're subs.
I was gonna say
here.
I've heard of like heroes and
Yeah.
all kinds of different things. But yeah, around here they're subs.
So there'll be sausage, pepper, and onions. There'll be meatball, chicken, palm. They got something called garlic
Okay.
bread grilled cheese. I'm interested in.
Oh, that could be
Garlic
good.
bread. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Cannolis, whoopie pies. You guys do whoopie pies? Is that a thing too?
I've heard of them, but no, that's
All right, so that's a New England thing
yeah.
too, which it's two chocolate cakes,
Yeah.
and inside a filling, and it's almost like a spaceship, a saucer.
Yeah.
And it's a whoopie pie. Fabulous.
Okay. Okay.
Probably good for you for some reason. I don't know.
Whatever. I'm still fixated on the roast beef sandwich because I mean we have like so around here, and actually it's maybe more Chicago area, but like it does trickle down this way. We have like Italian beef sandwiches.
Me and Ed Sullivan went to Chicago for a candy convention, and we had to go for that Italian beef sandwich thing because everybody talked about it. You got to lean over because it's so wet.
Oh, it's
you
wet
bite
and
into it.
with the peppers.
It's a friggin' mess.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have those around here. We don't really do so you put cheese and mayonnaise on the roast beef sandwiches?
And a barbecue sauce. That's the three-way. I'm not a mayonnaise
Okay.
guy, so I don't do it, but they urge you to go the three-way.
Huh.
So,
okay.
Classic three-way.
We're not playing that today.
No.
Although I want it for the record that I won that when I was on your show 2 years ago. So,
you see, most people don't. They mostly get wiped out. They think they know. They listen to the show and they say, "I win all the time when I'm home," and they get there and they usually a complete failure.
I get pretty close at home a lot of times.
Yeah.
I get frustrated with some of the guys actually playing it because I'm like, "How do you guys not know this?" But anyway.
Yeah. How were you into the 1700s when that was 1980?
Exactly. I know exactly. There was one. It was this last weekend. It was just this last weekend. There was one, and they're guessing like way high, and I'm like, "You guys have no idea when this happened, did you?"
Right.
Anyway, okay. So
again, I want to rattle off the 21 manufacturers as you walk in. They're going to be at their own little booth. And it's just like going to a trade show, except you don't have to go over to the booth and bring them a ticket to get a cigar. As soon as you walk in each day, you're going to get all your cigars in some cool packaging. And here's your cigars. Now, if you want to go sit with somebody and have a cigar and shoot the shit with them, they'd love to talk with you. If you don't want to, you can avoid them. Do whatever you want to do. And Nick Perdomo will be there. The Perdomo Army, believe me, will be covered. He brings his whole family with him. Oliver Nouveau from United Cigars. That's what I'm smoking, by the way. This is the new United Connecticut, which is just on the way to the stores now. It's like, how did we not do a Connecticut years ago? But it took that long to do it. Once we went from box pressed around and then started tasting the blend in Connecticut, we said, okay, this is a winner. And it's got a little zip to it. It's not a and I'll go to the Strength-O-Meter in a little while. But
I have it on my phone.
There we go. We all have it. It is a thing. I don't care what anybody says. Davidoff will be there. Terrence Riley from Raganosa Leaf. He's going to be coming in there, flexing for sure. Eric Newman from JC Newman will be there. Justo Aroa from Aladino, your friend, he's going to be there. This is a who's who. It's the primary person from each company that's there. If you're having Rocky Patel cigars, you might as well have Rocky Patel himself. So, of course, it'll be Rocky Patel. Nesta Miranda Cigars, it's Nesta Miranda, of course. Aging Room is going to be Rafael Nodell. LFD is Lito Gomez. He's coming up. These are some of these guys are guys that really don't do events, and certainly not events with other manufacturers there. If they're going to be there, they want to be the king of the castle, but not in this case. You're in with everybody. Glenn Case from Christoph Cigars is going to be there. Rick Rodriguez from West Tampa Cigars will be there. Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust will be there. Last year people said, were texting me and stuff and messaging, how come Steve Saka isn't there? He's gonna, why isn't Steve Saka gonna be there? He's a New England guy. He's right up your way. Steve Saka was there. He bought a ticket and he attended. So if you hear somebody's not going to be there, maybe they bought a ticket. And I'm telling you, Steve Saka bought more than one ticket. I think he bought 4 tickets.
There you go.
And, for whatever reason, he didn't want to participate, but he wanted to participate. He wanted to be there.
Yeah.
This year, he'll be part of it.
Perfect.
Nelson Alfonso, who wasn't able to make the PCA trade show, will make the New England Cigar Expo.
Awesome.
It's Nelson Alfonso, and the cigar he's going to give out is going to be Alfonso cigar.
Okay.
Renee Lorenzo from HVC, Amanda McAuliffe from McAuliffe Cigars, Christian Aroa from Aroa Cigars, Noel Rojas from Rojas Cigars, somebody from Drew Estate. I don't know who that's going to be. I hope it's Jonathan Drew. I've known him for a long time. He's certainly welcome, but I never got an answer from them. Nick Malillo from Foundation Cigars will be there,
Very
and Michael
cool.
Capolini from Toscano Cigars will be there. I counted the price of those cigars, and we're well over $200 for the $195 ticket price. That's as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah.
Along with other stuff. At that moment, it's 12 noon. The Cigar Authority starts on stage. You jump in and grab a seat if you want to watch the Cigar Authority or listen to it while you're talking to manufacturers. Actually, the manufacturers last year, we had it kind of a little turned down so that people could talk to the manufacturers, and the manufacturers were saying, turn it up, so they could listen while they were there. So we'll see how that turns out. But
there you go.
It will go on till 2:00. At 2:00, we'll clear the stage and get everything ready, because then we're going to bring out Mark Henry, which was a WWE wrestler, WWE Hall of Fame, world's strongest man. He won the Arnold, the first Arnold ever. This guy, I met him when he came to Boston recently to book him from this. He's a strong dude, man. That's a real friggin' strong man. There's no,
I bet. I remember him from back in the WWE days. So yeah, this will be exciting.
He's no joke. And I'm going to give you a little heads up. They told me in advance of it, and I'm going to go back there and meet Mark Henry and ask him if he wants to do this event. And they said, when you meet with him, do me a favor. I go, what's that? Don't pat him on the back. Hey, it's like patting a dog. Don't do it. He doesn't like it. And he'll let you know on top of it. And I said, okay, shake his hand. And they said, shake his hand, do whatever you want. Don't pat him like a dog.
Don't pat him on the back.
So heads up to all your listeners. If you're going to come, and I'd love you to join us, don't pat Mark Henry like a dog. You don't like it. And who knows what happens. I didn't see anybody do it, but don't.
Yeah, we don't want any attendees getting body slammed right there in the middle of the.
I don't know if he'll pick anything up and put it down, but these guys are gonna lift some heavy shit.
You should have Mr. Jonathan pat him on the back just to see what happens.
Maybe, I haven't told Mr. Jonathan this yet. Maybe
there you go.
That could be entertaining. That could.
And if he doesn't listen to this episode, well, that's on him at that point. Yeah.
Let's see how it happens.
There you go.
Tony V is going to join Mark Henry to add some color commentary and keep it funny. Mark Henry knows his shit. So Mark Henry's a comedian himself, but we're going to use him really to tell us what's going on. What is this giant dumbbell? What does it weigh? How do you do it? Is it hard? The yoke race. We may put a couple of refrigerators on a yoke, and they got to walk across something crazy. We got to come up with crazy things. Log press. You ever see the big giant hollowed out log thing, and then they pick it up? We may wrap that as a cigar or something.
Yeah.
And the Atlas stones, picking up the big giant stones, and you got to do the next one. So it'll be 8 different people. Some of them will be 2 people doing it at the same time as a race, and sometimes will be they have so much time to end up doing it.
Yeah.
We're guessing maybe an hour and a half, 90 minutes tops for this race. They have a prize pool that these guys are really trying to win based on theirs. Each manufacturer 8 of the manufacturers chosen to represent one of the guys. So we'll be cheering on our favorite brands at the same time. And just having fun and smoking cigars. The rest of the day is just, after that's over, sit and smoke cigars, see the manufacturers, hopefully beautiful weather, enjoy yourself, and try the new cigar that will be released at that time. And see what you think of that, and see if we can shake up the cigar industry when it comes to this new cigar that comes out. It'll all make sense to you when you get there and you say, oh, well, of course that makes sense. Oh, I get it, because I'm like that. I tie things together, and
I know you like the synergy of it all.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this New England Cigar Expo cigar from last year. It has a nice kind of it had a little bit of a raisiny sweetness on the retro or cold draw, but then on the retrohale here, I'm getting distinct coffee notes to the retrohale on it.
Would you say 2 or 3 on the Strength-O-Meter?
Let me get out my Strength-O-Meter
All
and
right.
tell you. Actually, here, let me find it here. It's on
And this is the beautiful thing of the Strength-O-Meter. You can go to twoguyscigars.com. Go to the Cigar Authority. Go to Cigar Authority for the Strength-O-Meter. Mine's hanging up here, but I do have a pocket version.
I got mine right there.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And you match it up with a cigar that you know. And after a while, I think this is going to become something, despite how much pushback I'm getting from the peanut gallery.
You know, I'm looking at it's somewhere between a 3 and a 4, but if I got to go that way, I got to go 3, based off of your no half point there. But I'm thinking,
Yeah,
maybe
it's a 3.5. It's a 3.
I'm thinking 3.
Yeah,
I'm
leaning towards 3 on that, but it's not official until I get the whole group to agree. And that includes when we have somebody as a guest on the show. If we have somebody on a guest of the show, they are automatically have to agree, or it will not make the list onto the list. So we're just going to keep it going, or I'm going to just keep it going until it becomes something. And I'm a guy that doesn't give up. It's 39 years in the cigar industry. It's 14 years on the Cigar Authority. I'm going all the way with this thing.
I know it. The half point would be nice. Just I will say the half point would be nice. I'm not going to fight you on it.
No, there'll be too many. There'll be too many
enough fight
to make it. But and everybody uses it to their own thing when they're smoking a cigar, and they put something in there. But I think, listen, as a retailer, somebody comes in the store, the Strength-O-Meter catches on, and people understand what a 3 is. Well, so if I said to you, which I did, you're smoking a cigar, and I said, what do you think about a 3?
Yeah.
And then you smoke it and you go, oh, okay. How about before you bought the cigar and you say, I don't know, the cigar looks too strong or the cigar looks too light. And I go, it's a 3. You know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
This is going to change the industry.
You guys do have multiple cigars listed for each level, so it's not just one of those things where it's like, oh well, I've never smoked that one, so I don't know what an 8 is, for example. But you have multiple listed there, so you're like, I haven't smoked that, but I have smoked that, so I know that one, and that's good.
And see that if there's 2 cigars that you have smoked and they're both on the same, they're both 6s, say. Are they both kind of the same? And you're going to say, yes, they are, because in order for Jonathan, me, and Ed to agree on anything, it's got to be pretty damn locked in that it's damn good there. If he's floating at a 3 and I'm at a 7, it can't go onto the meter because we're just far off. The only thing that's going to make it is things that we can absolutely agree on. And then the ones that don't make it, let people decide, but it's some sort of base that this industry never had.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because when I had Ed Sullivan on the show, I smoked the Perdomo 30th Connecticut in the Epicure size. Where would you put that at? Because I know where Ed and I talked about it, where we kind of agreed on it.
All right, I wish I was smoking at the time to really.
I know. I'm kind of putting
memory bank.
Kind of putting you on the spot here. And you don't need to answer if you don't want to.
I'm going to say it's a little lighter. So if I get to look at the meter and I say Perdomo Champagne is a 7. That would be a 6.
We put it actually at a 5.
Okay.
But
you see
something
where
to
I'm
keep in
going.
mind. Yeah,
It is lighter than the champagne, which is
it is.
deceivingly strong.
Oh, we talked about it when I had Ed on. I have people that are like, "Oh, first time smokers, they should try the champagne." I'm like, absolutely not.
Right.
But when we
Yeah.
were looking at it, we're like, well, where does it kind of fall? And the champagne, because you have the Garofalo Sun Grown as a 6, and I felt like the Connecticut version of the 30th was not as strong as the Garofalo Sun Grown. So
I
that's
would
why
agree. But
we were looking at
it be low enough to be? Would it be, again? Would it be fall into that 0.5 thing or something?
maybe.
Or would
But if
it
it fell
go
into that
into
0.5, it went to a 5. So that put it in with the West Tampa Red, the El Baton, Nestor
Not
Miranda
bad.
Special Selection, and the Bandolero.
I couldn't fight it. I couldn't fight that.
See?
Again,
So
if
there we go.
I'd like to be smoking it at the same time of making the official judgment on that, but just
For sure.
talking like guys right now, sure. But when it gets official, it's damn official.
But to the point is, this is now like the 3rd or 4th time I've used your Strength-O-Meter, and it seems to work. It'd be nice to have the 0.5, but I actually do really like the idea of having the levels and having selections on the levels to where you can say, yeah, it's not as strong as this, but it's definitely stronger than that, so it fits right there.
Yeah.
So it works.
So my thought how this came about is the blind reviews. So the blind reviews are coming in, and we're looking at it as soon as it happened. And Ed Sullivan was here one day, and he's looking at the blind reviews because I got to get all of them together at the time before Dan was doing it. I'm doing it. So I got to get them all together. Then I got to do all the ratings and then divide it by 10. If there's outliers that are really thing, then remove those on both ends. If that ends up happening, they got really good. The first round time, okay, everybody had to learn, and then better and better. I'm going to tell you, they're really friggin' good when it comes to everybody is very, very close with each other on flavor notes and on the rating scale. But when it comes to the strength, oh my God, they typically are very, very low. It's a strong cigar. They don't know what they're smoking. They come in and say it's a 3, and I go, how can it be a 3? And then Ed Sullivan sees it and he goes, well, that's the only thing that's really wrong here. They're really far off when it comes to it. I said, well, what do they got to measure that on? There is no measurement. And then it turned into this whole thing. And I'm telling you, we spent days saying, okay, we're going to put this together. And then it was many, many hours of agreeing on a certain cigars to end up doing it. They all agree, everything's fine. And then we go on the show. And then they turn around and crucify what they've already agreed upon 100%. And then it's Maduro Dave. He's fucking mad and stuff. I go, we sat there, we went over this whole thing. You guys are fucking with me, right? I thought this is just playing with me, but no, they end up turning on it. And I go, what the hell are you doing? We go to commercial and I go, what? Is this a joke? Because the joke's over. And they go, no, it should be 0.2. This is a strong 5.
So they understood. They understood all the way up to when they didn't understand it.
Yes.
You're saying. Okay.
So I'm like, I'm frustrated not from anybody else except them, because we did this. We went over it and said, okay, are we done? This is it.
But in all fairness, if those two are going to find a way to needle you, know they're going to do it. I mean,
they pressed my buttons on that one. I'm like, holy shit, we did an awful lot of work and then it just goes off the rail. And all you guys, the dicks, right? The people in the chat.
I'm not one of the dicks. I don't.
They
listen
all
later.
turn on me, and it's like the emails. It was like, what happened to making fun of Jonathan? What happened to that?
We've been doing that for years. We're bored. We're bored. Oh, this is great. No, like I said, I have found it to be helpful. I did use it. I think I used it with my, because I came in at the last minute again with my April review. But no, it has been helpful with that. You're right. Giving us something to kind of base the strength on. especially for the blind reviews, because I've talked about you or that with you before, that I take it seriously, and the thing about it is that since I don't know, I don't know what it is, I kind of second guess myself a lot. So this
Yeah.
at least helps kind of tamper that second guessing and that overthinking.
Do you think it has improved your cigar smoking knowledge? I mean, are you tasting differently now?
Oh, you mean the program itself?
Doing the
Yes.
blind reviews after,
Yeah. I mean,
month after month of doing it, because I've been doing it to my employees for years.
yeah.
And these guys, some people come in and say, your guys are so knowledgeable on cigars. It's unbelievable. They know what I like. They know what you like because they have smoked everything, whether they liked it or not, with no band on it. And they are sharp, man. They are good. Some of them are better than me. I mean, but I'm a reviewer. Jonathan and Ed Sullivan, we all review for Cigar Journal for many, many years, blind.
Hmm.
And it makes us sharp. It's very rare that something gets past us that you know, hey, it's a crappy cigar we give a big rating to, or a big rating to vice versa, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, you get to know tobacco. You get to know it's really, for people, especially people who are reviewing cigars, not to go through this process blind. No, I don't have a problem with you smoking the cigar and you know what it is, but smoking tobacco, that
Yeah.
podcast. So he was on the Ash Holes originally, Matt Tobacco, and he kind of broke his teeth here at Two Guys Smoke Shop. He's a local guy from around here, and we put him on the Ash Holes. And he never worked for me. He has a way better job. He's an electrician, but he did a show this week, and I listened to it this morning, where he and his co-host got blind tested by their wives. They pulled something out of the thing. And I'm going to tell you, there's no doubt about it. They really were blind tested because they did a terrible job. And they set themselves up because it can be awful that they're smoking a cigar. It's definitely Dominican. I know it's Dominican, blah, 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 blah. And then they say, well, it's not Dominican. And at the end of it, it turned out to be a Nicaraguan Puro, which
Oh my
should not be
gosh.
confused of a Dominican cigar. It's actually a Puro
Yeah.
Nicaraguan. And of who it was, which is quintessential Nicaraguan. And they like the cigar, they know the cigar, but the problem was they never go through this process. And that,
Of identifying.
I guarantee you, and I'm going to send a message to him, that has changed his cigar tasting forever at that point, because we are subjective to the band. And you smoke a certain brand, and that guy comes out with a new cigar, and you automatically like it because you like that guy
For sure.
and you like his thing. And you'll say, as you're taste testing that cigar, oh, it's very pepper forward, and it's this. And you taste it blind, and you say, oh, it's floral, and it's this, completely the opposite thing. What is it? What is it? And
Yeah.
now you get to really what it is. They
I
taste tested chefs before. Somebody had told me the story. Maybe Chef Charlie told me the story. They blind tested some chefs, and they said, is this little teeny thing on your tongue, you can't chew it, is it chicken, fish, or pork? And they got it wrong. They're
Wow.
friggin' chefs, and they couldn't tell the difference between chicken, beef, or pork. Pretty
Interesting.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
So we by going into a big piece of beef, yeah, it's beef, but can you really taste it of there? We'll see. And this thing has made the reviewers on the Cigar Authority, the stars we call them, They are getting better and better. I'm watching it. I don't know 90% of these people, but I look at their stuff and see how much better they're getting as it's going on. The only thing missing was the strength, that they're way off when it comes to strength. Now, if they smoke it blind, this might as well be a blind cigar for you, that you're smoking the New England Cigar Expo cigar. You never
I mean,
smoked it before,
basically
you don't
is.
know anything. And to go through this, okay, it's a 3 based on what it is. And you're right. And it's a Dominican cigar. And not all that strong at all. And it's not made by La Flor Dominicana, who tends to go on the heavy side. So there you have it. That's the idea of what we try to do on the Cigar Authority. We goof around on all this stuff, but really at the end of it, there should be something on every goofy episode that has enhanced your cigar tasting thing. That was if I look at the business plan at the beginning of it, there should be something at the end of it. You may have learned something this week, how we end the show. You may have learned something. The idea is to get something in there without them even knowing it. You went on there for entertainment and goofball stuff, but you know what? Something is going to enhance your cigar smoke. I hope that's what the idea is.
No, I dig it. I get it. And doing the star reviews, I know the Thursdays, I always like to look at the reviews to see what the other teams are smoking, but I definitely pay attention to the week that Team C comes up, because I always want to know what was it I smoked last month, and that sort of thing. Because it can be surprising sometimes when I look at my review and then I look at what it is, and it's like, oh, okay, that was impressive. And just trying to figure out, I like knowing what it is.
This is my cigar journal ones, already
Okay.
done, already sent in, and it stays here at my desk until they come in. And
Okay.
here's an 88, an 89, an 89, a 91, and the 89. So the best one I did was a 91 here. And I want to know what this 3516 is that I like so much, and the flavor notes that ended up happening. And also another thing that I do is I have one of these, and there's cardboard versions of it and stuff. You don't have to get it made of there, but this is every ring gauge cigar size.
I have a little paper
And a
one about,
measurement. Yeah. So you put the cigar in, and you can say, okay, it's a 6-inch round. It looks like it's shade, and put that on here so I know what exactly it is. And then again, it's a lot of years here, but I have blindly smoked a cigar and not bought it for Two Guys Smoke Shop, and after that say, oh my God, I love that cigar. I gave it a 94. We don't even carry it. When the rep walks in, I got to get another sample of that cigar. I want to smoke it again. I smoked it at the trade show. I didn't like it, didn't buy it, smoked it blind, loved it. Okay, let's smoke the cigar again. The third time the charm, and ended up saying the cigar was great. It's so bad to smoke at that trade show.
I was just about to say that the trade show, any company that's going to the trade show and everything, they really should. I know you've talked about it before, but it makes perfect sense. They really should be issuing you guys sample packs like about a month in advance, so that you could be smoking over the course of that month to figure out, like, I'm interested in this, I'm not interested in this. And then also you can get the humidity right and everything, because Vegas is so damn dry and nothing smokes right out there.
Right.
And it's just, yeah.
And one after the other, that, some guy's giving me an expensive cigar after I just smoked some full-bodied cigar that was under-fermented. And then it's stick this one in here. First off, I hate to waste it. I'm not going to smoke the cigar all the way through. And I still have that taste in my mouth. I've been standing up all day. Who knows what it is? It's just not the best environment, but I'm at a cigar trade show. I have to make a decision now. Here's the deal. Here's the deal right now if you want it, or else when you leave, the deal isn't going to be the deal anymore. I got to say no. What am I going to do? And it's not like I'm buying a box of cigars. If I'm going to give something a shot at Two Guys, it's 3 stores online, backup boxes. It's how many sizes I need, at least 3 or 4 sizes minimum.
Yeah.
So I go.
So it's a big commitment.
You're right. And to smoke this much of a cigar, and but as it has happened the other way around. Then again, I don't know what you gave me at the trade show, but I got the real cigar shows up 2 months later, and I go, man, this cigar ain't as good as the one I had at the trade show. So that has happened too. But for the
Yeah.
most part, you getting what you get for the most part. But it's happened both ways.
No, it's been an interesting process. I've enjoyed it. And I know you guys just opened it up to other people recently.
Open
Kind
five
of.
more people. I believe it was 5 more people per group. So it was just a total of 20 people altogether. But we did that because of some of the late players. You've been one of them on occasion, right? That come in
No,
at the
I've
last second.
always, well,
Always get it?
I always come in at the last second.
All
I
right.
do come in at the last second. Well, I maybe had 1 month where I had strep throat that I think I came in a
Okay.
couple days afterwards.
All
I
right.
think you were still processing them then,
Yeah.
but I have been really good lately. I've been
All
getting
right,
them in
good.
like at least down to the
And,
wire.
and
You know,
that's the only
I
reason.
joke with Dan in the email. I'm like, I came in at 11:58, but my God, it's there.
So we end up putting the names of the people who did participate, but not everybody that's in the group. So you can look back at the old ones and you're going to find one that has 6 names on it.
Okay.
And there's 10 people in the group and only 6 people. It's unfair to the brand. It's unfair if it got a good rating or a bad rating. It's just unfair that it's divisible by 6 instead of 10. So we went back and forth and said it wouldn't be bad if there was 15 and all 15 showed up. But if 5 of them didn't show up and it became 10, it would still be a good enough pool, right?
For sure.
People. So that was the idea behind it, and said, what do you think of it? We have on all our items on twoguyscigars.com. If it's out of stock, you click on it, notify me. When it
Okay.
comes in stock, no matter what it is, all of a sudden you get an email and say, hey, this is back in stock. So one day we said, okay, do we want to let these 20 people back in? And we said, yeah. So we put 20 on the counter that could be bought, and we undid it, and then within an hour the 20 people bought, and then we shut it off and said, okay, we got it. So anybody that ever wants to be part of this, and I know we're not selling it, you just hit notify me, and when and if that day ever happens, maybe somebody drops out. We did have some dropouts. The second week they did it twice, the second round.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
it twice and said this ain't for me. And I get it that you say it's, you know what? It's a lot of work, right? It's if you're doing it right, like
If
you
you're
do.
doing it right, yeah, if you're taking it serious.
Yeah. If you're just
like
saying
I
I'm gonna
said,
light up another cigar, but I don't on Cigar Journal. That's why I'm
well,
still
not. And it's like I've explained to you before that, I kind of look at it a little bit more, even more seriously than here on the show. Because I mean, here on my show, I don't give ratings, I don't give reviews, I just give my personal opinion as I'm
Yeah.
smoking it, that kind of thing. Whereas with this is a written review that's posted to a website, and people can reference it and look at it and that sort of thing. And this is manufacturers' livelihoods right here. This is, you're taking their product, you're assigning a review, you're assigning a rating to it, and that might influence other people to try it or buy it or not try it or buy it. And that's somebody's livelihood. So I'm not going to take that and just willy-nilly throw it around.
Yeah. And we're going to try our best not to throw any dogs in there ever, because we don't ever want to hurt, a manufacturer.
There's no point in that. Yeah.
Right. I see it on other things that they end up giving a terrible rating and say, my cigar was cracked, therefore I'm giving this a 60 rating or whatever it is. How about just don't rate it? Because why we're here is to actually help the industry. And I know buyer beware or whatever you want to do it, but you had an issue with a cigar, and now you're stomping your feet and you're gonna hurt somebody. You don't realize how much influence an influencer really has in this industry. How many people are watching this show, and maybe they're not going to buy it at the local store that you're next to, but this is worldwide. And I do hear it from the people that advertise on the Cigar Authority that say to me, we open accounts, of people that didn't even, because they ended up hearing something good said about it. I even say to my employees that if there's a cigar that we have in the store, here, did you try such and such? yes, it's not my taste profile. I said, what do you like about it? Well, I don't like peppery. I said, I didn't ask that question. I asked, what do you like about it? Well, the construction's good. It's well fermented. It's this. I said, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear what you don't like about it. It's chocolatey, and I don't like chocolate. Well, what's the sense of that?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I know if me and you were just talking, but if you're going to end up spewing that out to somebody that comes in, I don't like chocolate, and it's very chocolatey. How about it's chocolatey, and let the person decide whether they like it or not
I would
you.
say they may like chocolatey,
Right.
so you never know. So speaking of cigars, before we get into some other stuff here, I have finished my New England Cigar Expo cigar here, and it
Okay.
was good. It got kind of peppery at the end there, like the flavor profile. It definitely got peppery in the last little bit, but now I've got a United
There
Cigar
we go.
around in the
So you
natural. I
that
have the
that's the
natural
natural, which is not to be confused with the
with the
Connecticut.
Connecticut, but
Right.
yeah, so no, so I'm getting this guy going here, and no, you said something just a minute ago, and for the life of me, um, I had the thought and I lost it, but that's all
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
I got a movie review for
Oh
you later
yes,
on.
that's where we're going next. So
There we
actually,
go.
here we'll go ahead and get this thing started. My phone's blowing up with house related stuff here. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to villigercigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. Okay, so I'm wondering, I think I know what movie you're going to review. And if so, I've watched it myself, so we can
Oh, you
talk about it.
did
I did. I think so. So, what movie are we talking about?
Unfrosted.
I did indeed watch that. I
There we
watched
go.
that
Good. We can talk about
Friday
this.
night. We can talk about it.
So Ed Sullivan saw it in its entirety before the show. I said, I really don't want to get into it because I only saw half of it. He goes, who watches half a movie? I got up in the morning, I watched half, and I had to get moving to get to work.
Yeah.
So I only saw half. I went back and I watched the other half Saturday night. So I have completed it, and this is Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld movie.
Yep. It's on
He had something
Netflix.
to do. He had something to do with the Bee movie, right?
Yeah, there was that animated Bee movie
Yeah,
about the
but other than that,
bumblebees or
he's never
whatever.
done a movie, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look, but
Yeah,
like
I don't think
those are
he's a
the ones
movie
that
guy.
come to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd be interested. You know, Jerry Seinfeld's a silly guy to begin with, so you're not going to get an intellectual movie. You're not going to get
I would compare that. I would say that this is kind of a mix between like a historical, like not a documentary, but like a historical, like, picture where they talk about how something took place, mixed with maybe like Looney Tunes,
Looney Tunes,
you know,
a little
yeah, a
airplane-ish,
little
boom, boom, boom.
airplane-ish, but like,
I feel like I'm going to be watching this movie the rest of my life a bunch of times. And, like an airplane, like a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like a Vacation, this thing could stick around for a long time. And there's going to be Easter eggs in there, meaning I'm going to see things I didn't see before. That there's a lot of goofy stuff.
there were a ton of cameos in it, but there were so many lines that went relatively quickly that you had to keep up on. Like, what was it? It was, for example, the part when what's her name? Amy Schumer, who played the lady from Post. She's
Yes.
talking to the two kids that were digging around in the dumpster, and they were eating the samples out of the dumpster of the
Yeah.
pastry that they were making. And she said something, or they said that it was really good, or the dumpster food was really good, or something like that. And she said the line, better than what's in the dumpster. That's what they said about grape nuts. And it was like
Yes.
supposed to be like a positive thing. that cracked me up because I can't stand grape nuts. And so like when
And,
she
and
said that, I'm
it
like,
all
this is great.
started with grape nuts. That was, I believe, the first cereal of a doctor doing it so that your erection or something had to do with erections or something like that.
Cornflakes was about an anti-masturbation
Oh,
thing too,
okay,
I think.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
So
It was supposed
cereal.
to curb your erection or whatever, which you would think would be the opposite of what most people would want of the blue pill of what really took off, and grape nuts not so much. Well,
Not
you
so
would think
much.
not, but apparently back in the 60s, the cereal companies friggin' owned the food industry basically. Why we have the pyramid, that the food pyramid, is the
Hmm.
cereal companies. I mean, evil bastards. I mean, we're probably overweight because of the cereal industry.
Don't disagree. I mean, I
Yeah.
love cereal, so I mean, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
because
But
we
yeah,
were brought up with it and told it was part of a healthy breakfast where it's sugar and flour, and it's not true. Now we're addicted to it. So,
it's true.
uh,
It's true. When you think about
and they want
breakfast,
to
there's a
and they want to
lot of
stamp out tobacco products,
oh,
cereal.
damn it. And the crazy milkmen coming after the cereal people, that was amusing to me.
Uh,
That's the thing. There's
Chef
so
Boyardee, the connections. I'm
oh,
older than you, but I grew up in the '60s, so there was
Jack
so
LaLanne.
much that was happening. And if you look at a Pop-Tart, it really is a ravioli when you think about it.
Yeah.
Filling of their Jack LaLanne. Yeah, another funny part of it. Uh,
Uh,
Snap, crackle, and pop and boing.
yeah. Yeah. See,
You want to split it four ways? No, right?
no.
Just
And the whole the riot at the end. I was just
yeah,
dying laughing at the riot at the end. I'm telling you, it's a ridiculous movie, but it was fun. I really liked it.
yeah. I think I say it sticks around for a long time. I'm already seeing reviews really smashing it bad.
Hmm.
Let me tell you, they did it to Animal House when Animal House came out. That was destroyed. Um, and it takes off. And things like Happy Gilmore destroyed when it came out, and it sticks around. It's goofy, it's lighthearted. Light up a cigar, watch Unfrosted, and have a couple of laughs. That's all.
That's what I did. That's what
Yeah,
I did. I sat out. I had a cigar. I watched it on my iPad under the carport, and it was wonderful. Oh, and bra, the booby restraining apparatus. I
there we go.
loved that that acronym for it. Oh Lord.
And who knows? Is there a frosted version that comes out later? Because that was unfrosted, and now it's the frost.
And you know,
They open themselves up for a lot. There can be lots of things. Chef Boyardee. There can be a whole thing. This thing can branch out to anything.
and tying it back to the New England Cigar Expo, you had Bill Burr as JFK.
Absolutely, he did a damn good job, I'd say.
He actually did.
Did you watch the outtakes?
I did. Yeah.
So there he is in the outtakes, and they say, "No, you got to be more silly than this," or something like that. He says, "Oh, I was trying to win an award. I thought I was trying to win an award. It's a comedy. Oh, okay."
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. No, it was a really good movie. Um, what else have I watched lately? I actually have had some time to watch a few things, and for the life of me now, as I sit here and I even was telling myself I should make notes. There's one show that has come up a few times. I haven't watched it yet, but I've had a few people tell me I need to watch Baby Reindeer, which I don't think this is the show. I don't know if that. Let's put it this way: Trey Mac Shipley of Aladino told me that it's fucked up, and if he tells me it's messed up, it must be
Wow.
pretty bad because it's about a comedian who ends up getting a female stalker, and it tells me it gets really really dark and bizarre. But I've had a few people mention it, and it's popular on Netflix, but I haven't watched it yet. Um,
That sounds like an Ed Sullivan one for sure. That would like.
Oh, that's what it was. Ed, he recommended that movie Boiling Point, which was about a restaurant, and it's like it's one night in a restaurant, and but what's cool about this movie is that it's all one continuous shot. They never turn off the
Oh, I
camera,
heard about
and they
that.
follow all around and everything. I watched that, and it was a little dark, and it definitely got darker at the end, but it was interesting, and it kept my interest the whole time. And I mean, I hesitate to say that it was fun. It was fun from a technical standpoint, but from a story standpoint, it wasn't very fun. But it was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
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 So
They're coming out now. We'll see what happens. I got a lot of buddies in the comedy world and stuff. Have lots of movies that are out there waiting to. Hopefully, they get picked up and shit. Learning a little about that. That there's such great stuff on film out there that we never see.
yeah.
I wish somebody would put a station or something like that where you could go on and see any of this stuff. There's one in particular I know Ed Sullivan's waiting for, a Jerry Lewis movie, The Day the Clown Cried, and
Yes.
2025, which is right around the corner,
Yep.
is when it can be shown one time. One time.
I'm aware of that movie as well, and he and I have talked about that, and I'm waiting for it as well, just because it's just so incredibly bizarre.
Yeah.
Because are you? Did he? Has he told you about it?
Yes, yeah, I know all about it. Looking forward to it. You ever see Shakes the Clown?
Yeah.
All right, Shakes the Clown, which is an alcoholic clown,
Yeah.
Bobcat Goldthwait,
Yep.
who is a friend and a comedian, and I got to have a few cigars with him before, me and Ed. And the first time I saw it, I said, "This is a ridiculous movie, terrible." And then when you get to understand what it's all about, and you see it again, you say, wow, it is kind of genius of alcoholism, which is rampant in all entertainment, including
Yeah.
comedy, and that it's really comedian and a life of all these guys. There's so many in sobriety that are in there, and say, wow, you look at it totally different the second time around. And that takes us to The Day the Clown Cried, which is Jerry Lewis playing a clown at the concentration camps in Germany.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking dark.
That's dark as hell, man. And I've only seen like there's some still photos, and there's like a behind the scenes thing about it on YouTube that people can look up, and it shows a little bit of it. But holy shit, that movie, yeah, it's
And
dark
Jerry
as hell.
Lewis said after he did it, maybe that was a mistake, and it's never to be released until so many years after I die.
Yeah.
So that'll be the year 2025, which is 7 months away.
That's crazy in and of itself. The fact that here we are and it's already May.
Right.
I mean,
talk about flying is right. It was just January.
It's crazy. Because to your point, you're plotting out the Cigar Expo. I'm plotting out Pulpit Fest, which is a month before the Cigar Expo. And here it was. I was thinking it was January, and I've got all this time to prep and plan, and shit, man, it's right around I just looked at Eventbrite today to check the ticket status, and it's like 109 days away, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, we're rapidly approaching. So yeah, it's coming together. So anyway, so have you watched anything else other than Unfrosted? Listen to anything
other
else?
than that, as I said to you before, I'm that guy that watches the black and white old TV shows and stuff. I continue to do that. Mindless things I saw in the past. But
do you have much reading time?
No, I do books on tape.
Okay.
And I do podcasts. So
you know what? There's a book that I would highly recommend to you. It took me like 2 hours to read the whole thing. It's small, big print on the page, so you tear through it. It's called Creativity by John Cleese of Monty Python.
Wow.
And he wrote a book all about how to hone and refine and train yourself to be creative. And you're creative in and of yourself already. So, you may not pick up much from it, but like it's a great, short, quick read from a guy who, has done some really creative stuff. And he basically talks about the value of play and how you have to like build playtime into your day in order to let your brain be imaginative and everything.
Yeah.
But it's a really good read. And I harp on this book a lot because it really is a fun, quick read that I think a lot of people could get something out of.
There we go. All right. I wrote it down.
There you go.
I'll absolutely buy it. Hopefully I'll read it.
Shouldn't take you long. I promise. I promise. Well, let's do this now.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. I'm still on the fence. I haven't reached out yet, but you can get Tiger King as a guest. He's doing video interviews from prison because I guess he's running for president or in 2024 or some shit.
When's he
But
getting out?
Fuck, I don't know. But he's doing podcast video interviews. And so you can have Joe Exotic, Mr. Tiger King, on your show at some point or another if you want to. So
And where do you get that on that that um that thing that you hire the guy to say hello to you or whatever? That
like Cameo? No.
Cameo?
This is they're doing these. I don't know if you're doing. He's in prison, so like he literally is calling from the phone, and it's got like a little video connection. But
Isn't it against the law for them to make money?
I think the way it is you deposit money into his prison account so he can buy goods at the stores and toilet paper and shit like that and whatever.
Wow.
But then he'll come on and do the little do the interview. And
if he
I don't know.
can't, the guy is hungry for attention.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what he is anyway, obviously, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm tempted to get him on to talk. I figure
That'd
it'd
be
be
crazy.
If for nothing else, then I can maybe have him record that actually and be like, guess what? It's time for 3 cigars. Anyway. So 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. You got any cigars you want to hype up and promote?
Oh, what did I do?
I know you smoke a ton.
Yeah, we did a lot of Toscano this week because we had Michael Capolini here, and he did this happens, by the way, if people don't know, when a manufacturer comes up to see me, they don't give me a cigar that we carry. They always give you the one you don't carry so that you buy it, right? You fall in love
I know
buy
it.
it.
I know that trick.
So so 2 different cigars that he gave me. He gave me the what we smoked on the second hour of the show, which was the number 4 of the Masters selection. We have 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 comes out, and we said, okay, we're gonna stop there. You're gonna 5, 6, 7. Where does this end? So we stopped it, and then we smoked it, which, by the way, was a 48 ring gauge cigar. Which that's what people say the negative thing when it comes to Toscano is, it's so thin or whatever. And here is the bigger one. We smoked it. We all loved it. And we have the number 4 coming in. And the other one.
So it worked.
It did. And he gave me one also that we didn't carry, which was a, what is hazelnut? A hazelnut infused, which I'm like, geez, hazelnut, I'm not into that stuff. Just put it in my mouth before I lit it. It was Italian cookies, with that hazelnut thing to it. And I'm like, oh my God, I must have sucked on it for 20 minutes before I even lit it. It was fantastic. And I said, I feel like I'm cheating on my diet smoking the cigar. And I'm not a flavored cigar guy either, but it was delicious.
Well, see, there you go. So you get to cheat on your diet without cheating on your diet.
Yeah. So
there you go.
We said, all right, throw those into, and he went back a happy man because now I think we're batting 1,000. We have everything, of Toscano, and the stores out there. And he's telling me a lot of stores don't want to take it. He says you were an early adapter. I was an early adapter because I understood the brand because I come from an Italian American background. This is what grandparents ended up smoking. I end up smoking them. I like them, always did. And I said, let me put it in here. And it does take a little bit to get the guy to dare try one once. But once they do, people throw a pack in their glove compartment. It's for when you don't have a cigar. There's no time to smoke a cigar. Here's the cigar.
I was just about to say I have a box of the just regular, classic one in the glove box in my car right now, actually. They're
good when you don't have something. They're really good.
They come in handy. They come in handy. I have so over here in St. Louis, we have a neighborhood called The Hill, and it's an Italian neighborhood. Just tons of little mom and pop Italian shops, little grocery stores, and everything else. And there's the Hill Cigar Company, which is a cigar shop right there. and that's like the only place in town that I know of that you can go. But they have like tons and tons of Toscanos available, and they sell them. I mean, nobody else really around here does, but they sell them like crazy.
Yeah, I think the retailers are missing it. Do we all want to sell, $30 Atabays? Of course we do, but it's not everybody's wallet. And I really think it's an add-on. It's something that people are buying. Here's the regular cigars. All right, throw a pack in this, or singles or whatever, and it's there for them. And you're doing a disservice to a cigar consumer if you're not having that option for it. They're good.
For sure. And to your you brought it up on the Cigar Authority. What's nice is that you can clip it in half, you can clip a
Yeah,
third of it off. So if let's say you only have like 15 minutes and you're killing time in your car or something like that, you can clip it in half or clip a third of it off and have
right.
that. It doesn't unravel, and you can still go back and smoke the rest later too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so what's your third one that you smoked and enjoyed
Uh,
this week? Do you have a third one?
well, right now it is the United Connecticut because they just arrived. So I had samples as it went on, of course, but again, when it arrives, is it a different cigar? Is this what we really thought it was, or whatever?
Yeah.
So I said to Oliver before I got on, I said, "Is there something?" He said, "The Uniteds just showed up," and I said, "Okay," and I'm smoking it. It's burning beautiful.
There
It's
you go.
very, very nice. It's
Love it.
very nice and a little fuller bodied than you think this is. It's not Perdomo champagne, but it's a 5. It's a straight medium cigar, I would say.
There you go. That's good.
If yours
Not
is a
not
6.
not like
What
smoking
what
air.
what is yours? Yours on I thought we put United in here. Yeah, yours is a 6. What you're smoking is a 6 on the
Yep,
scale.
there it is. United. Yep. I'd,
So
I'd
this
I'd agree with that. It's not a Perdomo champagne, but I think it is a little bit more than what's listed at number 5. I yeah, I would agree with
There we
that.
go. This is a thing.
There you go.
We're gonna go
So
back to this a year from now, and you go, I remember when this first started out, and everybody was saying this is not working. It's working.
they're gonna find ways to give you shit even if it
Yeah,
works though.
yeah.
So my first one, I smoked a one of the Trace Compadres from Christoph. Um I liked that cigar. I've been smoking a lot of the Nicaragua, and that's a really good cigar. But the Tres Compadres, the shop that I went to, they also had that sitting there, and I figured I'd go ahead and grab one of those. And it was maybe a little lighter, I would say, than the Nicaragua, but I'm really happy with the way Christoph has kind of redone some of their stuff. Their bands look a little cleaner and nicer and better, and they got rid of that shaggy foot. And that thing, I mean,
And
I
the
mean,
loose
hell, you
tobacco.
see, I got a
Yeah,
burn hole in this shirt, and it's like, yeah,
the loose tobacco inside the box is gone. It's
yeah,
more organized. The last 3 products that they put out were home runs.
mm-hmm,
And it reminded me when Christoph first came out, I'll tell you, that cigar was like, what the hell is going on with this? uh, Not that a whole bunch of people were talking about it, but everybody stopped by. You know how we have the cases, and
yeah,
people would walk by and it'd stop, almost like, what the hell is this? And everybody bought it. It was probably the biggest thing when it came out. All by itself, it just sat there. Nobody had to say anything. Between the shaggy foot, the turley head top that was on it, and all the tobacco that was around it, you could not try it. And it worked out for them for a lot of years. And as it started slowing down, which was the past couple of years, boom, they said, okay, it's time to basically make some changes here. And they modernized it like needed to be done.
yeah.
So better days ahead for Christoph. Watched them. The last 3 blends, I think, were the best they've ever had.
No, I've been happy. So my second one that I enjoyed this week was I had a Yagua. I had a box that I bought a while back, and I've been slowly smoking through that thing. And I sat out and watched the thunderstorm roll through here actually from underneath my carport. So I sat out and watched the thunderstorm and had my Yagua, and it was nice.
I could have made a thing with that. When that came out, I said, oh my God, this is something I really want to get behind. And I called the Newmans up and I said, oh my God, this is something. And they go, we're never going to be able to supply you with this. They'll come in when they come in. It's just every once in a while. We
Oh.
cannot keep you in stock. No way. So that was it. It's never been in a care package. When they come in, they're gone, and that's it. It's just a handful of boxes here and there, and no contenders for the cigar of the year. It's long
Yep.
gone now, but that is interesting already this year. Here we are in May, and I already have a lot of thoughts of contenders, and it's only May. Usually we're in like September saying, oh, we're going to have to put some contenders together. So this year I'm scared to death. I mean, there's going to be, how many are there going to be? Or, I got to wean it down to some reasonable number. But you can't forget stuff that came in October last year, like 30th Perdomo.
I was just about to say
this
Perdomo
year.
30th.
So, and everything that came out since. So there's so many great cigars that are out there. Have you done the West Tampa Red?
I was just about to say my last one was the West Tampa Red Robusto, and which that one the parishioners chose as their 2023 cigar of the year. But fantastic cigar. Yeah. And now he's coming out with a new. He's coming out with a couple new ones, right? He's got the Attic series, and he's got that. Is it Circle of Life,
Circle
or what is
of Life?
Yeah.
I don't know how limited he's going to be with that, but I believe it's going to be one and dones, which won't land for us. We're certainly going to carry it. He's doing one with Ernesto Perez Carrillo, which okay, we're on board.
Yeah, that's a no brainer.
Yeah, for sure. Which, by the way, there's they're coming out with a special cigar. I saw the press release on where Jorge Mikey is a man I met in Cuba many years ago. And he was the vice president of Habanos at the time when I went to Cuba that first time. And when I got back and I wrote that Dave's trip to Cuba, which was very controversial, what I wrote, he was the one that called me up from Cuba and said he wants to talk to me for 15 minutes or so. We ended up talking for about 2.5 hours. And I said to him, oh, you saw the article I wrote? And he says, oh, yes. And he said, I said, you read it? And he said, I read it 20 times. So then he wanted to get into it with me. We became friends after that. I went to Cuba again. And he ended up fleeing from Cuba. He ended up getting out of there. And then he went to work with Ernesto Carrillo. He's also the one that teamed up with Nelson Alfonso and created Villiger.
Okay.
This guy is like unbelievable. I poo-poo a lot of the Cuban stuff, but those two people, holy shit. And he works for Ernesto, and this is the first cigar he blended, non-Cuban. The other one was the Cuban, Villiger, and here he is putting this cigar out. And I am very intrigued with it. I saw him at the trade show. It was the first time he was ever in the United States. I saw him the day he arrived. Welcome to America, and the first time ever in his life. And here he is putting the first cigar out in the free world that'll be him. And I'm super intrigued of what is this going to be. This is not going to be E.P. Carrillo. It is an E.P. Carrillo cigar, but this is somebody else doing it. And Ernesto actually letting somebody use his name, putting this out. I am so all over this. And it is 3,000 boxes, I believe, 2,500 that are just going to Europe. That leaves only 500 for the United States.
Oh, wow.
So my fingers are crossed. I would like 50% of every cigar that's made for the United States.
Oh, my gosh.
I put the order in.
Yeah.
I said, I would like 100%, but I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I would like 50%. I haven't even smoked it, and they're not a cheap date either. But this could be something like ultra special.
Yeah.
Enough for me to roll the dice and say, this is intriguing enough to me. It doesn't happen to a lot of cigars that I'm like, okay, I want to smoke this personally.
Yeah.
And if anything, this guy has something to prove. Given the right ingredients, let's see what he can do.
When is that supposed to hit? Do you know?
I don't think it's going to be far off. I think it's going to be it's going to be in this year for sure.
Okay. Okay.
So whenever that ends up happening, I'm super intrigued with it. I'm like going over geek at this point. You know, this is I know this guy. I
Hey,
know what he's capable of. This guy was the president of Habanos. He stepped down to be vice president because the president only sits in the office and signs the paperwork. And this guy is a tobacco man. He wants to be in the tobacco. And he wasn't taken down. He stepped himself down and said, nope. I want to be in there. I want to be in the mix of it. Very intriguing guy. Speaks very good English, by the way. Better than me. He speaks French. He speaks unbelievable. He speaks English unbelievable. But this guy is Cuba, and here he is now in a different role. And it's maybe about 2 years he's out. And he's
okay.
been with EP Carrillo, and now they're kind of saying, okay, he's there. And then they put that press release out, and I said, I'm very interested. I'm all over this thing. So we'll see where it goes.
That sounds interesting. Speaking of cigars you've gone all in on, did you ever find out the price point on that Padron anniversary cigar?
No, still not out there.
God.
And I know we went heavy on that too. We went heavy on it. And this one will hurt if it's Padron though,
It's gonna sell.
Yeah. I have the $167 foul. Hang on. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Yeah, it's gonna sell. So
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm in heavy on that. I may be asking to come on your show and pimp some of that out if it becomes freaking expensive. We'll see.
We can do that. We can do that. Well, why don't we now hear about My Monthly Cigars? This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks. And guys, the big day is coming up. Friday, May 10th, you can order your fucking good cigars. Pre-orders have already taken place and people have those locked in, but the rest of the inventory and stock will be available for sale on Friday, May the 10th, so you can get your fucking good cigars. And I will have Nick Gervais on the show on Friday, May 10th to smoke the fucking good cigar. I actually smoked one the other day. He sent them and I got them, and I was able to smoke one in advance just so I kind of had a little bit of a heads up. So we're going to smoke that, but preview of the review, it's really, really good. So you're going to want to get in on it. It's a good cigar. And he worked with United Cigars to bring that out.
And truth be told, I smoked one also way back.
So you fucking know somebody too.
I know someone, and I liked it very, very much, but it was up to Nick to decide on his end. And it's been a long time, long process. So we'll see how the final came out. Again, I had a sample before it was a cigar, and we'll see as they come out. But
I thoroughly enjoyed it. So make sure you guys head on over there on Friday to pick up your fucking good cigars. Well, Dave, I am available on the socials at Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. We have Facebook where we have our parishioners group. We're on Twitter/X, YouTube where you can watch us. And as of this morning, there are 5 tickets left available to Pulpit Fest 2024. So head on over to Eventbrite, BRITE.com, and get yourself signed up for those complimentary tickets if you are planning on going, because obviously it's one of those things. Don't just like squat on it, and hope you're going to go. Like if you're making the trek down to Palm Coast, come on down to Ash and Ale and hang out for the weekend. That's August 23rd through the 25th. And you can get the ticket, and it'll be a wonderful time. All sorts of nice surprises are coming together. And Dave, where can people follow you?
The Cigar Authority is where I broadcast each week, podcast, and on the social medias. I'm on Facebook, I believe is David Garofalo.
I believe
And,
so.
yeah. And I think I'm twoguyscigars.com
Yes.
or Two Guys Cigars on Instagram.
Yep.
And then I'm on MeWe, small group of us that are there. We have a little group on Facebook of Friends of the Cigar Authority or something, which has nothing to do with me at all, but I am a member. I got an invite, so I share in every once in a while there. And I'm on X somewhere, but I really don't do anything there.
I don't really do much there. I'm on it, but I don't really do much. So,
and the show is on podcast plus YouTube and Rumble. Are you on Rumble?
I am not on Rumble.
So we get a lot of views on Rumble.
Really?
It's the same as doing YouTube. And I think it might be very, very easy. You could talk to Ed Sullivan on that, a click of a button or something like that. And all of a sudden you got a Rumble station too. And just a different group of people that choose Rumble over YouTube.
Interesting. I'll have to look into Rumble.
Why not? And
why not?
We have it because we always worried that YouTube was going to throw us off because we've been.
Well, you had that one little blip that one week. Yeah.
We lost shows for sure.
Yeah.
Shows are gone and whatever, but we have so many of them anyway. But it's all on Rumble too, just in case. It's insurance and it costs nothing. So
there you go. There you go. Well, Dave, I will let you get back to your day because I appreciate you taking time out for this. But guys, once again, you can still get, hopefully, as of the time this airs, you can, if you want in on it, you can get a Saturday ticket to the New England Cigar Expo. That's Saturday, September 28th.
Correct.
And all the way up there in beautiful New Hampshire. And you can hang out with the Authority crew and
you
and me and a whole ton of other people too.
It's awesome. And you're going to stick around days after. I
leave on Monday.
Perfect.
The Monday after. I come in on a Wednesday and I leave on a Monday.
All right. We'll have time together because on those 2 days it's very
I know.
Minutes. So
no, I think I mentioned to Mr. Jonathan that since I have absolutely probably nothing going on except the expo, if you guys need volunteer help, I'm sure I'll be around.
All right, come and hang out with us, and
there you go.
We'll eat well even during setup and stuff.
There we go. Are you doing the donut wall again this year?
I don't know. I think I think it was popular. I think we should.
I think you should too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So there you go.
Okay.
Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Dave.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky.
Ed Sullivan requested a shorter version of this.
I know he did. I haven't gotten it yet, though.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.